I love to have such a beautiful crowd. So tonight we're going to present a concert which we called Indian Dreams, because I'm going to present different kind of music, of course Indian classical music, but also the music from other countries which had an influence on North Indian music, and especially we will see that on the course of the concert. So, in my long career as a performer and a lecturer of extra-European music for Western audience, I found out that if the audience has some little information about what they're going to hear, that will help them to understand and to appreciate what's happening on the stage. It's like I was saying with Scott, it's like giving a GPS. When you don't have to worry too much about where you're going, you can enjoy better the landscape, isn't it? So, Western music, as you may know, is based on harmony since Bach in the, let's say, 16th century. Harmony means you play chords like you do on the guitar or the piano, which means you hear 3 or 4 notes played together, and this note keeps changing. So the melody that you play is bound to follow these chord changes. So the melody is determined by the kind of chords that are chosen for a specific song. Does it work? It's not working. Do you hear me? Hello? Hello? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, maybe it's just a switch. Ah, yes. I hope you heard what I was saying before. So, Indian music and all the music, big traditions of the East, are based on melody. Is what they call modal music, which means that you choose a scale, which means a set of notes, and you stick to that, and you build your performance around those notes. Scales can have 7, 6, 5. In India there is even a rag. Rag is a scale, is a mode, with 4 notes, but this is quite an exception. 5-note scale are used all over the world, especially in Africa, and of course in Southeast Asia, and in China, and in Japan, and even in Irish music. Irish music is mainly 5 notes scale. So the music of India is called raga. Raga, what is it, raga? Raga is a specific scale, a specific choice of notes. And, you know, in a piano, from C to C, if you count also the 5 black keys, you have 12 half steps. So any of these 12 half steps can be combined to make up the scale. So you have a number almost unlimited of scales possibilities. While in the West, because of this harmony system, they only use like 1 major scale and 3 minor scale, 4, and of course the 7 modes of the ancient Greeks. So in India you have rag, which are 5 notes up and 5 notes down. 6 notes up, 6 notes down. 7 notes up, 7 notes down. But you have also rag, which have 5 notes up and 7 notes down, which means there are certain notes that when you're going up the scale, you are not supposed to play. And this is the case of the rag, which I'm gonna play tonight, which is called rag Jinjoti. Now, rag is not only a scale. Of course, a scale brings particular moods. I'll give you a little example. what is called a major mode. You see, it's quite bright, it's quite positive. Now, if the third note, which in this case is this one, 1, 2, 3, this way, I make a smaller interval, because this is what's important, the interval between the note, it will get a little bit sadder. See? There are even intervals which is, they go, they jump two half notes. So a different mood altogether. So, rag, one of the interpretations of this word is one which I really like. Rag means that which colors the mind. Isn't that beautiful? Because the intervals, the note that you play, have a resonance within yourself and will build up a special mood. There is, for instance, a rag called Rag Marva, which is quite unstable. And of course, they have stories for that. They say it's Radha that is getting ready for Krishna. Krishna is coming to visit her, and so she has to adorn herself to be as more beautiful as she can. So she takes one necklace and she put it on, and then she said, oh, maybe not, this is no good, I'll try another one. So the rag expressed this hesitation, you know. So rag is not only a scale, but there are also two notes in a rag which are predominant, which means are the notes that you play more often. They are known as vadi sambadi. Let's say they could be named the king and the queen of the rag. And this rag Jinjoti, which I'm going to play, is very particular because the king and queen of the rag are the two notes which are not played when you go up. So it's quite unusual, okay? Good. That's, I think it's enough. We could talk for hours about Indian music, but I think this will give you a rough idea. Now let me just introduce the instrument. This instrument is called Sarod. It's one of the main plucked string instrument of Indian music, the other one being, of course, the sitar, which is more known. This instrument is not very old, although in Vedic time there are some sculpture in some very ancient temple which has sculpture of musician play an instrument which is similar to that, but then it was lost, it disappeared, until the Afghan soldier were hired by some Raja in, let's say, 18th century, and they brought an instrument called robab, or rabab, or rubab, the different name according to regions. And so this rabab has frets, like the guitar, you know, this frets, you know, that thing. And Indian musicians liked the instrument, and they start to adopt it. But of course, it was not suited for Indian music, because Indian music, like you cannot play Indian music on a piano. Why? Because in a piano you go dan, 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 and Indian music is based mainly on sliding from one note to another. It's not jumping from one note to another, but sliding. You know, so you hear all the micro intervals in between. So the frets didn't work. So little by little it was changed. And the only way to do it is to add a metal plate that would allow a better sliding of the fingers. Another particularity about this instrument is that you have to play with nails. You don't touch the string with the pulp of the finger, but you touch it with nails. So that's why the sound is no good. You see, the sound is not bright, but if I use my nails, better. So the instrument evolved. during the 18th and 19th century, and this is the final shape that this instrument took. Okay, enough of that. It will be accompanied by these drums called tabla, which is one high tabla. Can you hit it? All right, and a bass tabla. All right. So this tabla is one of the maybe the most sophisticated percussion instrument in the world, because you can strike it in so many different ways, and so you have like 20, 25 different sounds that you can get out of it. Let's give an idea. Now. So many different ways of hitting this instrument. We will give a short presentation because we want to play different things, but we will follow the usual way of developing a rag, which is first the melodic instrument we play what is called an alap, which is a free improvisation without rhythm, please. Without rhythm. Then we go into a pulsation. It's not really a rhythm, it's just a pulsation. And then the tabla comes in with a cycle. We will use a 16-beat cycle called tintal. Da din din da da din din da da din din da da din din da da. And the trick is that I will improvise on top of that. But the trick is that I always have to manage to finish my improvisation on the first beat of the cycle. You will hear a melody that comes in every once in a while. This is called agat, and is a little composition that gives the mood and the main note of the raga. For this raga, I could not find one in short time, because this is the first time I'm going to play this rag in public, so it's a premiere, especially for me. And so I composed two of them, and so help me God. The two. We didn't even rehearse. This guy came from Rome yesterday. So for 3 days he hasn't slept. And he's still in jet lag. So we are doing our best. I hope you enjoy it.
No problem. Music keep alive. Yes.
So, in India there are two systems of music. One is known as Hindustani and is played in the north, and the other one is called Carnatic and is played in the south. They are quite different. If you listen to Carnatic music, there's a sort of, it's almost mathematic. There's not much, what to say, expression in it. It's very, very sophisticated music, but it's almost mathematic. While if you listen to North Indian music, there's a lot of pathos, there's a lot of romantic feeling. And this was developed through the influences from the West. Since the 12th century, India was invaded by all sorts of conquerors from Turkish, Persian, Mongols. Actually, the Mughal dynasty, which ruled the north of India for 5th century, it came from Uzbekistan. His ancestor was Timur Lenk, the king of Samarkand. And at the court of Akbar, which is the most famous ruler of the Mughal dynasty, there are still miniatures. You can see musicians from Iran, from Turkmenistan, from Turkey as well. Turkey was not Turkey at the time because the Turkish people comes from Central Asia, in fact. And they are playing together. So there was a big exchange of this related system. So from Persian came this instrument, which is called the Santur. Santur means 100 strings. So when I bought it, I discovered that it only had 72. So I felt cheated a little bit. It's a joke. The Santur was brought to India by the Sufi who came mainly to Kashmir to spread their doctrines, and it was adopted by the Indian musicians, especially in Kashmir, and it became popular in Indian classical music, especially in the 20th century, after the maestro Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma. So, the Indian Santur now is a little bit different. It's the same principle, which means strings stretched on a board and played with hammers. Tonight I'm going to play the Iranian Santur, but I'm going to play an Indian rag. So it's like going a little bit at the roots of this mixture of traditions Anyway, I believe the highest point in human history is when people from different traditions exchange their ideas, because humanity is very vast and everybody has discovered something of it. Nobody has the truth, so everybody brings something to the table, and this is how the highest culture came about. I'm gonna play a rag which I really love. It's called Ahir Bairo. It's an early morning rag. So why do I play in the evening? It's because I like it very much, and I never get up before 9 or 9:30 in the morning because I go to bed very late. So if I would play only in the time where it's supposed to be played, I will never play it. So bear with me. And this is very interesting because I'll show you something about the scale I was telling you before. Now, if I play like this, it sounds quite major, positive. But the trick is that there is one note, only one note, that changes completely the color. Listen. You see? It brings in a little bit, a touch of melancholy to it. And it makes it sweeter. Okay? So this is rag Ahir Bairo. Ahir is the caste of the milkman. And Bairo is one of the name of Shiva, of course. So let's say is the rag of the worshipping of Shiva by the caste of the Ahir. I have to change the tuning. Thank you. I have to remove this now. Okay. Now, with this instrument, I'm going to play a traditional song from the Pashto tradition. The song is called Sher, which means lion. As you may know, the Pashto is an ethnic group that inhabitates since ever the frontier, what before the partition was called the northwest frontier, which is now, it's in between Western Pakistan and Afghanistan. There are a lot of Pashto people in Afghanistan. So this is a traditional song which is played by Pashto musicians. They use an instrument very similar to this. Actually, this is a Turkish instrument, but this model is popular all over Central Asia. You find it everywhere with different names. It's called tambur, it's called dutar. In Iran, it's called Sitar. But it's basically the same instrument, which means form of a pear, a round body, and a long neck. And 3, 4, 2, or like in this case, 6, which means 3 double strings. Is based on an Indian rag because, of course, the Indian tradition spread all over, including Afghanistan. In Kabul, musicians play rag with their own instruments, and it's rag kafi. And I want to dedicate this piece to a very dear friend of mine, which is here among us, and whose family has some roots in Peshawar. Peshawar is a town near the Afghani border in today Pakistan, which is a center of Pashto tradition. Sorry about that. Actually, I gave this instrument to be fixed. There was some problem with this board, and there is a microphone inside, so maybe they have hampered a bit with that because I never had this kind of problem before. Anyway, we got through. All right. This is going to be the last chapter of this concert. I'm going to play an Indian flute. It's not the classical bansuri. It's a popular flute called Murali. And I'm going to improvise on a very popular rag, which is called rag Murali. It's a pentatonic rag. Please, can I have a lot of reverb on this mic? As long as you can. Let's go into one of these Hindustani cave, or let's us feel we are inside the Taj Mahal. Nice. Well done. Okay. I have to change the tempura. Ragu. Yes. Carbon. last piece, and I hope you enjoyed, and see you next time. Good evening. Alberto Savini on Tabla, all the way from Rome, under the jet lag, and myself, ANELLO CAPUANO. Good night. Thanks to you for patronizing me for having here. I really love to play in this place. It's really a fantastic place, nice feeling. So, thank you.
Thanks everyone for coming. Hang around, ask ANELLO some questions.
Yeah, if you have some questions, I'll be glad to answer.
And if anyone's interested, BHAKTI.
But I should be able to hear the question because you are very far. Any question? Except my age.
Our age. Sama-sama.
No question? Okay.
Yes. Sitar.
She has one. Come here, I'll give you the mic.
Are you also playing sitar?
Let me put this down because okay?
Are you also playing sitar?
No, I'm not playing sitar. Because first time I went to India was 1971. I went there to learn sitar. But then I discovered I was staying in Benares and I was living on the Ghat. It's like one of the Ghat, the last Ghat in Benares. And every morning at 4:30 in the morning, I would be waken up by the Shanai, this Indian oboe. And it was so beautiful, it was so fantastic that I wanted to start playing that. So I started taking some lessons, but of course it's a popular instrument, so the only people who played were like Desi people, traditional people. We didn't speak English, so I didn't speak at the time any Hindi. So I didn't go very far with it. And then also because I want to see India in all its extensions, so I traveled all over the place, and to learn music you have to stay in one place. And then I lived in Morocco 5 years. I learned the oud, the Arabic oud, which is a plectrum instrument, and without frets. And so when I came back to India in 1980, I decided to play the Sarod because the technique of the Sarod is similar to that of the oud, which means you're playing with a plectrum and it has no frets. While the sitar is completely a different story. You play with the index fingers and with an onglet here, yeah? And then it has frets, okay? So like on Sarod, you see to make slides, I have to slide like that, similar as the oud, while in the sitar, you pull the strings, So it was a completely different technique. So I decided to learn the Sarod because this was on the continuation of what I already started. This is answer your question? Even more than you asked for, I guess. Yes?
So do you live in Bali or in India?
The question was if you live on Bali or in India.
No, in Bali I came 17 years ago and I've been here since. But before I spent let's say altogether 6 years in India in different periods, 71, 74, then 80, 82, and then I went back many times afterwards. And I've never been to Bali before. And so when I was living in Paris for 22 years, and when I had enough of the West, I said I have to go and live in Asia, but I didn't know where. And so I tried India first, but of course India was like going home because I'm so familiar with it. And it's my first love. I really loved India, especially at those times. And then I went to see other countries, and when I came to Bali, I arrived in Denpasar, took a taxi to Ubud. This was 2005. And on the taxi, I said, this is the place where I want to be, because it was so beautiful back then. Okay? Of course, it deteriorates a lot, I have to say, since, modern. And all this before was very traditional. There were, on Jalan Raya, Ubud was full of trees, and there was not so many cars and motorbikes. So, okay. So, was the beauty of Bali that attracted me here. Okay?
There is one more thing I want to tell you so you guys are Italian.
Yes.
So I love Italian people, and I love Bali, and I love Indian music. So this.
Wow, what a combination!
Yeah.
And you know what? That makes eat, pray, and love.
Yeah.
Eat
Right.
in Italy, pray in India, and love, of course, in Bali.
So
In
let's-
fact, I met my love here in Bali, my dear wife, and so this is why also I'm still here.
Yeah, I want to thank you because you've brought all of my passions together tonight. So I'm super happy. Thank you very much.
It's me that thanks you for being here and appreciate, because a musician without an audience, what is it? I can play for myself, but it's really very nice to play for an audience and get the feedback is very important, because the audience inspires me, so thanks to you. Even the dog agrees.
Thank you, Anello.
Okay, that's it. Good night. Have a good night. Thank you. Thank you.